Hello everyone, my name is Leigh Kerr and we are at the Spiritual and Psychic Sasquatch Conference 2017 and I have a very special guest with me today, Mack. Say hello, Mack.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you. Mack has been having Sasquatch interaction and they've been present in his life for a very early age, since you were 5 years old?
Yes, 5 years old was the first time I saw them. And of course I thought they were bears because my 5-year-old mind couldn't comprehend Sasquatch. I'd never heard of such a thing. And later I found out from them that it was actually them. They were gathered around my bed. It had to do with my past lives as a Sasquatch, because I have a Sasquatch soul. My soul is not human. The same God, but anyway, so they've been with me all this time, and I didn't recognize them again until about 5 years ago.
Fantastic. And can you give us a little bit about what happened then?
Well, I started seeing them. And of course I thought, maybe I was going crazy. It even caused rift between my wife and I, and all sorts of things, because the first time I saw them, she couldn't see them. She had to have the heart connection with them. Yeah. And she didn't have the heart connection, and so it caused problems. But since then they've been in my life, and they're very sweet, generous people, very loving. They're not monsters. They're not apes. They're not any of these things. They're people, evolved people, and they've been here since the time of the dinosaurs, and long before we were here. And so I've enjoyed their presence for the last 5 years in my life, and their counsel, especially their counsel, and their love, kindness.
That's fantastic words, and I can relate to everything you're saying, and I've had my own experiences too, and they're definitely loving beings, and it's a blessing to have them in our lives. Now, Mack, we were talking another time and you told a story which was an amazing story where the Sasquatch actually helped. Would you like to go into that story? Because I'd love the viewers to hear it. It's an amazing story.
Well, they've rescued me several times. This is just one time. The first time, and I was out in the desert, living in Arizona, northern Arizona, and so I was out in the desert, and I was out there visiting them. A friend of mine named Kiwoni Lapsaritis put me in touch with them, and where they were, and I went out there and started having encounters with them, and started seeing a lot of UFO activity and this sort of thing, and because they were living in the same mesa in a cave in the same mesa with the aliens. And so anyway, I was leaving after visiting them for the weekend, and I was coming home. I was driving through the desert, and I decided to turn around. And I don't remember exactly why it was that I decided to turn around, but there was something I wanted to see or something I'd missed. And so I was backing around, and I backed into a ditch, and a real deep ditch. I didn't realize it was as deep as it was. And my truck bottomed out, and the wheels were just spinning. Even though I had a four-wheel drive and everything, still the truck wouldn't move. And I thought, my gosh, man, I'm 65 miles out in the middle of nowhere. And what am I going to do? And so I was sitting there. And I remember my friend Kiwani telling me about just asking them to help me if I get in a jam. And so I just decided to prayerfully ask them. I say prayerfully, but they don't like being worshipped or anything like this. But I asked them respectfully, and if they would help me. And so in about 15 minutes, I was just sitting there wondering, what was going to happen. And a voice came in my ear. It said, start the truck up, put it in drive, and just wait. So I did what the voice asked me to do. And all of a sudden, excuse me, all of a sudden, the back end of the truck just lifted up, and it pushed me back onto the road. It was just a dirt road, just a dirt trail, but it lifted my truck up and just pushed my truck up onto the trail, back onto the trail. It told me, don't look in my rearview mirror, because I may have seen them if I had looked in my rearview mirror. But it told me, don't look in my rearview mirror. And so I didn't. I did exactly as it asked me to do. And so, needless to say, it was a very emotional situation because I was out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, they wouldn't have found me until my skeleton was in the car. But they just lifted my truck up and pushed it back onto the trail. And I just sat there and cried. It was so emotional. Yeah. And of course I thanked them. Later on, when I met a couple of people that could actually hear them speak, they told me through my friends that they had rescued me that day, that there were 3 of them actually. One of them probably could have done it because they're so strong, you know. But there were 3 of them and involved. And I later learned one of them's name, but that was just the first of many times that they've
Helped you out.
that they've helped me out when there was no one else there to help me, because I'd spent a lot of time in the wilderness by myself.
And we've heard many stories like this over the weekend at the conference. And thank you so much.
You're welcome. Happy to do it.
Thank you.